So you're asking me how by breathing, how is it possible to link between the breathing techniques and the activation of emotions in order for us to attract whatever we want? Is
Mm-hmm.
that what you're asking?
Exactly.
All right. So here's the interesting aspect is when our heart is beating, um, all the time. We have these pulses that are going. And every time the heart beats, there's an electromagnetic field created, and that's measured. So that's not a surprise. Anybody who's a doctor or a physician will be able to tell you that when a heart beats, there's an electromagnetic field. What laboratories have done, some scientific studies have done, is they've actually measured this field out into beyond the body for about 5 feet beyond the body. So imagine yourself encircled with this magnetic field around you. So that's one thing that's been measured. The second thing that's been measured is the emotions you feel. So when we're feeling joy and appreciation and compassion, there are frequencies that can be picked up in this energy field that we have, and they are very harmonious, like an orchestra when it's playing music. It's so beautiful and harmonious. Those are the frequencies that are actually measured when you're feeling compassion, love, gratitude. When you're really frustrated and exasperated, those frequencies become very chaotic. It's almost like it's not tuned, the guitar is not tuned properly, or people are not playing harmoniously. And that is actually what's going on around you. Have you ever walked into a room and you felt the energy and you felt, oh my God, I don't want to be here? Or have you ever walked into a place of worship, perhaps a church, when you walk in and you feel, I feel so content because there's a lot of compassion and love in there? That's exactly what we're talking about. Now, here's an interesting experiment that was done to show how much information we have available to us. So our subconscious mind, the ones that we're not consciously aware of, picks up 20 million bits of information per second. 20 million bits of information. Our conscious mind picks up maybe 4,000 bits of information per second. So imagine this, that you've got all this information around you everywhere, but you're only focused on a certain area, and you're only picking this up. And if you're struggling in life and you want to manifest your desires and you want to create something beautiful for yourself, you want to break through your pain, the solution is there, but it's not where you're looking at. The solution is there. It's in your subconscious. It's already picking up, but you're not focused on this. And the way to actually tune yourself into that perfect solution, to see that there's somebody out there that you're recognizing can help you move forward, to do that is actually exactly the practice we did. When we take the slow, deep breaths in and we experience joy and compassion, what we're doing is we're tuning into the joy and compassion related experience in the subconscious field. So if you're feeling frustrated, we're tuning into whatever experiences that are going to give us that will reinforce the frustration. And that's how we actually tune in to our desires, is that's one step. The second step is we have a lot of belief systems. For when I was in Italy doing a presentation to a women's movement, one of the blocks they had was that they could not facilitate love for themselves. They didn't believe that they could feel love for themselves. They felt that it had to come from outside of them. And so I asked them to suspend that for a second. I said, look, you know what? Imagine or just suspend that belief and just accept that that's possible. And the reason I did that is because in this subconscious space, there's a solution for loving yourself. Except of your own free will, you have chosen to block that. You've said, I do not believe in that. I do not believe in this, in me loving myself. So there's a block. So when you are tuning into love and compassion, it skips over that belief system, and the solution may be in there. Now, I hope this is making sense, because really, perfect. So it's important for us to be able to focus in on what kind of experiences we want, such that it reinforces our emotions. So if we want to feel joy and compassion, our tuning system will go into that part of the subconscious that's going to bring us more of those experiences. And that is how the law of attraction works. It's really the foundation of the heart math techniques. But there's also another few steps that we have to take in order for us to now recognize it and then not and break through the fear of the unknown. And here's why. The life you want to create is a life that you don't want to repeat from the past. I mean, really, what we want to do is if we are struggling with relationships, what happens is you've lived all your life with the struggle of relationships. So what the life you're trying to create is where you don't have struggle with relationships, and maybe you don't have a template for that. So what happens is when we actually encounter somebody that we can create deeper relationships with, what ends up happening is that we get fearful because that's an unknown. We are afraid of the unknown. That's just our biology. And what we have to do is use the techniques and the methodologies and the systems to allow us to break through the unknown barriers. And there's several ways we can do that, but we use heart math techniques as a foundation for that. And then we break through these barriers, and then we embrace the unknown, and they become the known, and they become everything that we rely on to take us to the next level. And then we come across the next unknown and the next unknown. And anytime you see an unknown, it could be good or bad, but there is a lot of benefit to exploring that and using the heart magnetic field to be able to discern which is the right unknown and which is the wrong unknown. So that's how we connect everything together to manifest our desires, is to tune into that particular experience before the experience has happened.
I love how you explained. This was perfect. It's perfect to understand.